Hi there. I'm Kathleen Donovan with Arlington Public Schools Special Education Parent Resource Center. Welcome to Family Engagement in the Special Education Process. Each November, the Virginia Department of Education acknowledges Family Engagement Month. We are very excited to celebrate and share this with you in November, but we're even more excited that family engagement happens throughout the school year here in Arlington Public Schools. In this session of the course, we'll address family and community engagement, often called FACE in Arlington Public Schools. We'll consider the intersection of special education and FACE. We'll briefly touch on something called the dual capacity framework that guides our work. We'll consider some challenges, and then we'll explore conditions we can create to foster genuine and positive school and family partnerships. As you might know, Arlington Public Schools adopted a comprehensive family and community engagement policy back in 2014. We know that family engagement makes a difference in outcomes for students. Let's learn more together about FACE here in APS by watching a brief video clip.
FACE stands for Family and Community Engagement. In 2014, the Arlington Public School Board adopted a state of the art FACE policy informed by the research and best practice in the field. A FACE action team, composed of a diverse group of parents, staff, and community partners, was formed to develop the policy implementation plan and to provide continuous support and advice. Why FACE? The research builds a strong case. When schools, families, and community groups work together to support learning, students do better in school and schools get better too. Here are some of the benefits the research shows for students, families, and schools. When families are engaged, their children's grades go up and they attend school more regularly. Students are more likely to enroll in higher level classes, graduate, and go on to college. Students not only do better academically, but also tend to have better social skills and fewer discipline issues, and are more excited and positive about school. Additional benefits for families include parents feeling more confident about helping their children and having more positive attitudes about their children's school. And schools benefit too with better student outcomes, more support from families, improved teacher morale, and a better reputation in the community. It is also a matter of time. Students only spend an estimated 12% of their time at school. This is one more reason for building meaningful relationships with families and community groups to ensure that all students achieve their full potential. In fact, research has shown that strong family and community ties is one of the 5 essential supports for schools to run well and for students to have successful outcomes. Now, what do powerful partnerships between families, schools, and community look like? APS policy is aligned with the current national standards for successful family school partnerships. It directs attention to what schools, families, and communities can do together to achieve 6 main goals and provides a set of guidelines and some practical ideas for taking action.
Many thanks to our FACE colleagues for that wonderful video. I think it does such a great job helping us understand why family engagement is so important and so beneficial for students and for families and for schools. When we think about the video and the 6 goals that were identified in that FACE video, we're reminded that they coincide very well with our role as special educators. In many ways, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, often known as IDEA, has heavily emphasized the role of families since its inception. We think as special educators, we've always been ambassadors of this work. as we welcome and communicate effectively with families, support student success, advocate for every student, share responsibility and decision making with our colleagues and with families, and link to community resources such as Arlington SEPTA and other local parent networks, Arlington's Department of Human Services, Virginia's Department of Rehabilitative Services, and many other community organizations that we partner with. We know that family engagement is essential for all students, and as special educators, we have unique opportunities to build relationships with families. One of the tools we use here in APS to support family engagement is the dual capacity framework for family school partnerships. Based on existing research and best practices, the framework identifies challenges educators and families face, but it also identifies essential conditions that help to foster collaborative partnerships. The framework serves as a compass that lays out goals and conditions necessary to chart a path forward toward effective family engagement. The challenges referenced in the dual capacity framework apply to all students. However, we think there are also unique challenges within the special education process. We'd like you to pause here for a moment and think about some of the challenges you believe educators and families might face in building relationships and collaborating. Take a few moments to ponder this thought and maybe jot some things down. When we consider family engagement through the lens of special education, we're guessing some of the items you see here on the screen and maybe many more might have been on your list. The special education process is filled with regulations, procedures, and guidelines that can make meetings feel very formal, which can be a tough environment in which to build collaborative relationships. Parents are often worried and concerned. They may be unfamiliar with the process. Many families tell us that they feel overwhelmed. They might not recognize or see themselves as important members of their children's educational teams. And time is often a very limited resource for all team members. And here in our diverse community in Arlington, navigating language and cultural differences might also be complex. Emotions can sometimes run high in special education meetings, and it's really hard to do our best thinking when we're feeling emotional. These and a number of other factors have the potential to make special education a challenging environment in which to build partnerships. However, as we keep those challenges in mind, the dual capacity framework guides us to conditions which foster positive and effective family engagement. They identify 6 process conditions that include relationships that are relational, which are built on mutual trust. Here at the Parent Resource Center, we encourage families to focus on the fact that staff and families share an important mutual goal, that students are thriving and learning and meeting with success. The second condition identified in the framework focuses on links to learning and development. As we discuss specialized instruction and related services, rate well crafted goals connected to curriculum, and reassure families about progress monitoring and growth, we build confidence and optimism. Third one is asset based. And this is sometimes hard as part of the definition, obviously, of a disability is something that's having an adverse impact on a child's education. So, although we must, of course, consider those educational needs and that adverse impact, identifying a student's strengths and starting with a strong focus on these areas always sets a great tone for meetings and helps all of us remember that strengths are assets and can often help us find creative ways to address students' needs. Similarly, when we honor families' funds of knowledge of their child, their perspectives, and their contributions to the team, we build assets in families that support the whole team. APS has a number of initiatives underway and resources to support equitable family engagement, and we know that this is important in the special education process. Finally, the framework emphasizes collaborative and interactive engagement. In the next section of this course, my colleague Gina will share some practical tips that we hope will help mitigate some of the challenges we've identified and support development of the process conditions we're just discussing now. Gina will also share some resources that the Parent Resource Center offers to families, but in keeping in mind our dual capacity framework, we're also here to support you. We invite you to subscribe to our weekly school talk messages or to share your ideas and suggestions and questions with us. You can reach us at prc@apsva.us or at 703 228 7239. We thank you for the incredibly important work you do each day. We believe that supporting families hopefully supports your whole team and the success of your students, but we do hope you'll reach out and let us know how we can further support your work. Thank you.